So you mean it or not. And you're either the real thing or you're not. But I've never actually written a good song, I think, ever. I think it's not like... To me, if I listen to Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain or something that Willie Nelson sings, that to me is a really great song. Music makes you small. It makes you realize that you... Not just that you can be mistaken about lots of things, but also reminds you how small you are all the time. Producing somebody can be really pleasant, really nice, but you're dreaming other people's dreams. The same with film scores. You're dreaming somebody else's dream. You're helping somebody else as best you can do what they do. I mean, it's good for you in a way because it's not as such an ego thing. You're just helping somebody else as best you can. So it's good to ever do that. Then you can go back to being the boss of your own band, telling the road crews what to do, and maybe even get a cup of tea if you're lucky. You know? Yeah. But there's got to be a limit to that because everything that I've done like that has put Dire Straits, the next Dire Straits tour or album, further back. Yeah. So just like this week, I turned down some production, I turned down a couple of films. Can't do it. Even if I'd like to, even if I wanted to do it, you know, you have to learn to say no and just not be tempted by it.
Are you eager now to get the Dire Straits thing starting?
Yeah. Can't wait.
But this break then, that's been in Dire Straits, has that been good to you?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. You stretch, you know, all these things stretch you. It makes your life more interesting.
Yeah.
Also, it's quite good not being as important as you think. You know, you're just not. And to a film director, you know, or a film producer, you're not really. If you're doing the score, you know, you're not really a very important person. Film people don't think musicians are very important. This is quite true. But neither are they.
Yeah, right. So you like being stretched to see what are my limitations? What more can I learn?
Exactly. Like you learn that you're not very good at things. That's what you learn.
Yeah.
You learn that what you should do is you should stick to the things that you know how to do.
Yeah. But don't you take that as sort of a challenge when you see your limitations to try and break that barrier?
Yeah. You try it, or maybe athletic demand, you know, challenge in some ways. So just see whether you're faced with a really difficult job to do, and you say, we'll do it, we'll do this. We'll circle it and close in on it and get it done.
Are the songs ready for the next Dire Straits?
Oh yeah, I've always got songs ready.
In Walk of Life, you have Johnny down in the tom, the Sultans you have in a pop. You seem to sometimes do some of your better songs, or maybe more played songs from street situations. Are you still able to be on that level? I mean, with
not as much as I'd like to be, because if you're going to New York to do a promo tour, you know, you're flying and you're at the airport and you're in a car going backwards and forwards. So a lot of the times you're not in that situation as where you'd like to be. But that's up to me to change. I mean, it would be up to me to change that.
Yeah.
But I do still manage to get around and do usual things that people do.
So you can still have the inspiration that comes from...
Oh, sure. Now, I have been attracted to those kind of situations a lot, but people in limited circumstances expressing themselves, it just always attracted me. I don't know why. I suppose it's because when people are in that situation, whatever situation they're in, a restricted, Dire Straits situation, if you excuse the term, but if they are somehow managing to express themselves, it's liberating. They're liberating themselves. I'm always attracted to people liberating themselves in whatever way, through whatever kind of expression. But you don't find those kind of situations so often on Concord as you do down the pub. That's true.
Talking about some of the oldest songs, Money for Nothing, of course, is a great song.
Similar situation.
Yeah.
In a store, it was in a store. Well, I was just a guy. At the back, he did all the deliveries, and there was a whole wall of TVs at the back of the store, and they were all tuned to MTV. So he was just talking about the acts that were on.
So the song is the guy talking?
I actually borrowed a piece of paper and a pen from a salesman and went and sat in the front window of the store. It had a kitchen display unit in the front of the store, in the front window. And actually sat in the front window of the store and started writing down some of these lines he was saying, you know, classic lines.
Yeah. Which just shows how important it is to go into stores every once in a while.
Yeah, exactly. It's just what we've been talking about,
yeah.
Right? So does that mean I've got to go and do my own laundry now?
It could be a major influence on the song.
Could be. I never liked going to the laundry.
Oh, okay. Of course, blues music is a major influence to you and to a lot of other people. But it is incredible to think that it's still continuing, is such a vital influence to my generation, our generation, to generations to come.
Well, when I first heard my Uncle Kingsley playing boogie woogie piano, I was very small when I heard it, and to me it was just, never mind any lyrics or never mind any song, just the music, just a 12-bar. To me it was very important. It was just these big blocks of logic, you know, sailing into place, and you go, yes, this is for me. I like this.
Yeah.
This is for me.
Yeah.
So it makes a harmonic reverberation in people.
Yeah.
You know, that's one thing. That just the form, and all the variations on the form do too. You know, all the different variations on it you start to get into things like 13 bars and other things that you really love now. You know, you develop the taste, just like developing a taste for wine or something. It's the same thing. It's a very deep and big subject.
Yeah.
And the whole thing about playing and learning how to play different styles of playing, different ways of picking different styles, ragtime styles, country styles, flat picking, finger picking, all these different bits of music, you know, steel playing and everything else, tunings and music is just such a huge area. Even you're talking about supposedly a simple music, but it's endless, huge, big, beautiful. Bigger than anything else I can think of. It's like Brazil, it's big.
Yeah. So there's still a lot of areas to discover.
Oh, music, it dwarfs you. Music makes you small. It makes you realize that not just that you can be mistaken about lots of things, but also reminds you how small you are all the time.
Talking about the blues, although it is an influence on you, you have never sung the blues. I don't think on any of your lyrics there isn't the word blues ever.
Well, you take the blues and use them, you know.
Yeah.
You've either got soul or you haven't. You either play with soul or you mean it, or not. And you're either the real thing or you're not.
But like Eric could be described as a great blues guitar player, and other, but it seems like that you've developed your own style within that.
Well, I was never interested particularly because I never really had a record player or a record connection. So I didn't learn how to play things exactly the record on and off. It was more just get the spirit of the thing going.
Yeah.
But some styles of picking you have to learn. It's quite tricky, you know, get them doing it in the right way. You got to just sit down and learn it. Some things you just got to learn.
Yeah, and these guys way back didn't have that many takes or that many tracks to record on.
Yeah, but people, when somebody really wants to learn something, boy, they just go ahead and they learn it. They just sit there as kids and they just play and play and play and play until they get good, until they get to be able to do it.
Right.
You know, after you've done it for 20, 25 years or something, you sort of do it okay. It's so okay.
Yeah.
You become like, what I am is really like a jack of a few trades, master of none. That's what happens. Because you're getting involved in a bunch of different areas, but you're never really becoming an absolute expert in any of them. You just dabble about. And we just became a band by accident, really. Because I've been who I am, I just started being unpleasant and suggesting songs to do and saying, I don't like that song, and I'm going to play this, just pushing myself in, you know, the way I can, just being obnoxious, really. And we just became a band by accident. And then when it was time to get the thing on a record label, I didn't expect it to be a major label. Didn't expect it to be our labels, you know. But then the big labels really like the record, so it's all a surprise. It's all very pleasant.
So the four of you got together and started discussing songs, and you started suggesting songs. What would be like a typical night with the four of you talking songs?
Really unpleasant. You know, very bad language gets used a lot. You know. It's pretty much filthy, disgusting, ugly, horrible people.
Yeah,
really, we are.
But beautiful songs.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only beauty in our existence, really. It comes out of songs, and the rest of the time it's all just cigarettes and just people swearing and stuff.
But good songs always seem to come from an environment like the ones you just mentioned, doesn't it?
Well, maybe. It's a perverse world. It could be.
Yeah.
Out of so much ugliness, there's got to come something worthwhile then.
Yeah. But there were a lot of songs to choose from, Mark, you four together.
Yes, well, we know at least 20 songs between us, you know. If a song was known by at least 25 people, you'd say, no, it's too well known. We actually know a lot of songs, but last time we played together, we played for 3 hours, and we probably didn't get through a fraction of all the songs that we know. So if we ever get around to doing another record, which would probably be about 6 or 7 years' time after the next Dire Straits tour, we'll have all suggestions ready for candidates for songs.
But you were sort of bringing to life the old tradition of just sitting and playing to each other and not watching television or whatever you do these days.
Well, that's right. I mean, that's how Steve and I started. By when we were playing together, we didn't watch television. We played music, and that's really one of the reasons why you become quite good, or halfway good, as a player, just by time spent doing it. You know, it's like any other job. Just a lot of time spent playing.
But why should we listen to these old songs, Mark?
Well, it's almost like why... Because they are things of great beauty and character and depth, and if you love songs, you love these. It's what I am. It's the reason these songs and songs like them are the reason why I've turned out the way I've turned out. And that may not be all good, no, but hey, I can't tell you that. If you don't, it's just a love affair that he starts off as a love affair and continues. You've got to love it to do it. To do it right, you've got to be in love with it.
The break that's been there, are there influences you've taken from your work with other people, or what direction are your songs going into?
I think they're getting even more juvenile than before. You know, even more.
Yeah. Simple?
Yeah, simple-minded, I think, is better than simple.
Is that because you're getting older?
Senile. Yep. Now, because so much music now, to me, is just so horrible, I think that it drives you even more towards roots-based music, and I've ended up writing more simple things.
Yeah.
But I've never actually written a good song, I think, ever. I think it's not like, for me, if I listen to Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain or something that Willie Nelson sings, that to me is a really great song. It's just like a beautifully written song or something like that, beautifully sung.
Mm-hmm.
So that to get to the stage where you can actually write songs, like I'd be quite happy to be able to write a song or feel like going home or something. It's a great song to write.
Yeah.
So even though I'm not jealous of anybody, I would kind of wish I could write a song like that.
Yeah. So that's maybe part of the motivation for still being out there.
Maybe, yeah, learning how to write. Yeah, I don't actually do enough writing. I'm a bit lazy.
In twilight glow I see blue eyes crying in rain.
I would like just to talk about Randy Newman. He must have been an influence on you before you started working.
Oh yeah, I've been a fan of Randy's from the very first album since I was fairly young, you know. Yeah, and also I think he influenced songwriters a lot. He influenced me a lot in terms of character. I'm sure he opened up possibilities. Not that I'm conscious of, but just opened up possibilities of what you could do with character. That you could take a song, like Money for Nothing, for instance. You can just take that character and make him the singer.
Yeah.
You know, which is what Randy's very, very good at, and does that with a lot of songs. The singer is another person.
Yeah, Money That Matters is sort of an equivalent to that situation.
Yeah, he has lots of songs like that. Yeah. Lots of songs like that.
One could recognize his humorous, ironical approach must be, in a way, a thing that you can relate to.
He's hilarious. I could actually make him laugh as well. He can make me laugh, no problem at all. So most of the time we're just rolling around, crying, laughing, just... We had a really good time, just laughing. Yeah. Except when I was interfering with his music. He's not used to having his music interfered with by anybody. Mm-hmm. Never had somebody say, you know, try it. What? So that was a shock to him. To have some idiot telling him, you know, suggesting something else that we could do with music. It's unthinkable. But it's just because he wasn't used to it. He's a lovely man. And we had really good fun. I can tell you why I know we were having good fun, because we used to go to a restaurant from the studio every night, really near the studio, and it wasn't a very good restaurant. So if we'd been really interested in the record, I mean, if we hadn't been interested in the record, we would have gone and find somewhere good to eat, but we never bothered because we just used to walk next door and then get back. So we must have been enjoying it.
Mark Knopfler har arbejdet sammen med flere af sine gamle forbilleder. Foruden Randy Newman er der Bob Dylan, guitaristen Chet Atkins og The Everly Brothers.
And, you know, you're conscious that you're living out dreams not just for yourself, but for a lot of other people that just love music.
Yeah.
It's almost like sometimes it comes full circle, you know. The little kid, when I started learning how to strum guitars, I'd be about 15 years old, and I'd be one Everly brother and my little mate would be the other Everly brother. And we'd sing all these Everly Brothers songs. And I didn't know then Chet Atkins was done all that stuff and played guitar and all of those things. But then when you write a song and the Everly Brothers record that song, and then you find yourself on stage and the Everly Brothers are singing the song, and Chet Atkins is there and you're playing the song, your own song, and they're singing it, well, it's just comes, the whole thing comes full circle. And it's moments like that. You can't really share those moments with anybody, particularly, because, I mean, you might say to somebody, you know, the Everly Brothers, blah, blah, blah. They go, oh, really? What time's the match? You know. But it means a lot to you.
Efter plade og turné med The Notting Hillbillies kommer turen igen til Dire Straits. Pladeindspilning og efterfølgende turné, men det bliver tidligst en gang i 1991.
You have that commitment to them, you know, they've got a commitment to you.
Yeah.
And it means stuff to people. People get seriously peeved, you know, if they think you're not going to turn up and play ever. They really get annoyed about it. Disappointed about it. It's good. If you have a friendship going with a lot of people all over the world, you might as well keep it going.
Yeah. So that's what you're going to do next?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I really am. That's what I'll do till I fall over. Because really it's the best thing I can do, I think.
Okay. We're looking forward to see you.
Well, I'm looking forward to being there.